Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play DuckTales 2. In the last part we started off the game beating Bermuda and Niagara in the process, and now we're heading over to Mu so we can take out some find some treasure. This isn't Star Force 2. That boring game. Don't get me wrong, Mega Man Star Force 1 and 3 are fantastic, but 2 is ugh. Anyway. Mu here is a pretty easy level, but it has probably some of the most cryptically hidden stuff. Also, one thing I haven't commented yet on DuckTales 2 is the soundtrack. It's nowhere near as awesome as DuckTales 1's. Don't get me wrong, it's still pretty catchy, but DuckTales 1 rather, just had the overall better compositions. Not on the par with Mega Man 2, though. Also, I forget if I mentioned this back in DuckTales 1, but I actually did look it up. The Inafune at least did the art for this game. I'm not sure if the entire Mega Man team worked on it, but I know Inafune did do some work with this. Because, yet again, this game has no credits. Anyway, we just got the third and final upgrade from Gyro, so now we can actually pull things that are heavy. So now we can not only break blocks via golf swings or pogoing, but we can also pull things that are much heavier. That's good, because it allows us to get the... Where did Gyro go? I didn't even notice that before. And we're boxed in. Great. Luckily, we can pull Minish Cap and use the local plant life around us in order to swing. Though in Minish Cap, it was fungi, not plants. Oh well. Be quick to get that 50,000, by the way, because, one thing I'll say about DuckTales 1 and 2, the decay times on the items is pretty short. Oh, never mind. You're gonna find quite a few big chests in this area, and a lot of them just containing lives with 50,000 gems. And there's a reason for that. The map piece in this level is easily the most cryptically hidden. And that's just to trick you out because of it. By the way, what's with the random merman ducks? I mean, I know Mu supposedly sank into the sea like Atlantis, but still. Anyway, keep in mind what Dewey's saying here. That's something written on the floor. You're going to want to keep that in mind. And also, keep in mind the pattern. Specifically, the orange part of the pattern that's on the right now, because that's going to come in handy later. How is I pogoing on air? I hit limitations. Hey! How you doing there, Launchpad? Let's talk to him. Like I mentioned back in part 1, he does take you back to the world map if you want to. However, we want to jump behind him. Well, this looks kind of familiar. Bring these blocks into where you found the orange blocks in that pattern about 2 rooms ago. And this is not randomized, by the way. It's always the same as far as I'm aware. And in doing that, Mu rises from the ocean. I like how they had that little cutscene there. That's pretty cool. And now the water's gone from the side of the level. And no, Launchpad, I don't want to talk to you. And stop calling me Uncle Scrooge. We're not Uncle Scrooge to you. Actually, what did he call Scrooge in DuckTales? I know he called him DW in Darkwing Duck. Anyway, we want to come down here because we got 2 large chests, one containing extra life, and the other a lost treasure. Like back in DuckTales 1, the hidden treasures are worth 1 million, so keep that in mind. Also, remember what I said last part about dying? And if you die, you lose all your money? You lose the lost treasure as well, so don't die if you find one. In fact, it's just a good idea not to die in this game in general. And the map piece is at the end of this stone-filled hallway, so we're gonna need to dig our way through it. Thanks, Capcom. Thanks a lot. Well, mind you, this was back when Capcom was actually decent. Actually, no, Capcom was amazing back in the day. Be it through Mega Man or otherwise, they did a lot of good stuff. And once Inafune left, they kind of went to crap, and now Inafune is doing his own thing, which I find amazing. Azure Striker Gunvolt, yeah! And Mighty Number 9, I'm really looking forward to that. And there's the map piece. Also, there's a lot of hidden gems in this area, so you might leave with a lot more than you thought you would coming in. I was actually thinking about fast-forwarding this section, but I decided not to overall because... I don't know. And with that, we're actually pretty much done here in Mu. The boss is only 2 rooms away, so it's not that big a level, honestly. Mind you, it's not as short as the next level, but, pretty alright. Also, I love this. We're technically in an invisible pathway circle, because no matter which 2 blocks you destroy, you'll always find a way in there. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. Anyway, time for the boss of Mu, which I find to be the hardest boss out of all of them. This random duck golem thing. Which reminds me a lot of the sand golem from Final Fantasy IX for some reason. Either way, he only has 2 attacks, which is to do a rocket punch straight out of Mega Man V for the Game Boy. And then this rock crushing attack. 1 rock will always remain. And you have to hit the rock towards him, and then... step on that little core that's left in order to damage him. 5 hits as usual. However, the stones drop so fast, you might not actually have enough time to respond to them. So watch out for that. And there will be times when you'll just spam the rock attack. And he will get out of that broken state after a while, so make sure you step on that core as quickly as possible. But overall, he's the most difficult boss, at least so far, but nothing too terrible. Really stilted walking animation, but NES. By the way, the boss music for this game is bland as hell. Ow. That would have killed a normal man. Then again, we're a duck, so it's all A-okay. Anyway, that was the boss, and that was Mu in general. Fairly easy, as I mentioned earlier. And once you beat your 3rd level, another special energy becomes available, allowing us to increase our HP up to its max at 5. So we are now a very healthy duck. And next level we're heading off to, after saying we got 5 pieces of the map. By the way, I like the attention to detail that Mu remains raised. We're heading off to Scotland. You guys ever been to Scotland? Really beautiful place, actually. Anyway, Scotland is your generic castle level. That actually reminds me a lot of Castlevania. And a song that reminds me a lot of a specific track in Oracle of Ages. And, yeah, actually, I think it was just Seasons. No, wait, no, it was in Seasons and Ages. It was in both of them. I think. I'd have to replay them. The biggest threat in this stage is the fact that there's quite a few bottomless pits, and quite a few of those sections with those little platforms there that will start moving as soon as you get on them, and there's bottomless pits always below them. And over here we got a 50,000 gem. Oh gee, there's totally nothing over there. Actually, I will say, trying to hit one specific block with a jump golf swing is actually kind of annoying. And time for a section that reminds me cruelly of Mega Man, a reappearing, disappearing block section. Although at the same time, it actually reminds me of Wing Fortress Zone, was it, from Sonic 2? But luckily, it's much easier than any reappearing, disappearing block section in the Mega Man game, so I'm thankful for that. Also, is that Master Hand carrying a bucket of milk? I know it's supposed to be a lantern, but it looks like a bucket of milk being carried by Master and or Crazy Hand from Smash. By the way, I hate sections like this where there's a bottomless pit below me like that. Ugh. And over here we got another 50,000. It is in these next couple levels where they really start to try and hide the map piece. Because while the last one was pretty cryptic of going behind... Well, also, first off, what is in that chest? I've actually never been able to get to there. What was I saying? Well, that's right. While the last treasure box is pretty cryptic... Or, treasure box. The last map piece was pretty cryptic because you had to go behind Launch Quack, something you might not be able to think you might be able to do in the first place. The next one's pretty bad about that, too. Less so overall, but still pretty, You know what that section right there reminds me of with the spikes? It reminds me of, because I just played this again last night, Wily 3 from Mega Man 10. Great game there. Anyway, the treasure map piece is over here, but you have to combo jump off those hands, which can be kind of tricky, and if you hesitate, you'll probably die. And here it is right here. One piece of the map left to go. Yeah, one piece of the map. I had to think first really quick there, and it's in the next level. As far as I can remember. There might be one more in the shop, I can't quite remember at this moment. Also, Mega Man 10 is... Since I'm back on the topic of that... also, the knights that are actually enemies are the gray ones in the background. The yellow ones are in the pure background. Mega Man 10 is actually a much shorter game than I remembered, because I did 3 playthroughs of it last night, one with each character, and each time was under an hour. Although the shortest time was with Base, where it was just over 52 minutes. Mind you, I know the speedrun record for that game is ridiculously shorter than that. Actually, what is the record for that? 2 Speed Demos Archives! Because we're coming up on the boss. Ice cream coming over there if you need it. Anyway, the boss of the stage is pretty tricky, actually. It's a wizard, obviously, and the way he works is that he'll randomly well, first off, he'll start teleporting. Each of his spells has a different effect on you. I don't even know all of them, actually. But the thing is, you might only see the one that's actually there, but there's actually 2 wizards, but they're flickering, so you can only ever really see one when you're recording and or watching it. Unless you have the right compressor. He's overall easy, though, just due to the fact that he's pretty hard to not get hit by. Or hard to get hit by, because his attacks are rather short range. But that was Scotland, nothing too bad. Let's see, Mega Man 10 world record 23:03. Ouch, that's under half my time. I need to work on that. But with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And next time on Let's Play DuckTales 2, we're heading on to Egypt because we've beaten every other level in the game. See you guys then.